Yo, 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 yo. It's your brother, Mr. Israelite, letting all the people out there know that it's real life. And I'm picking back up on this Shannon Sharp saga. I know I don't seem like Israel. I know I don't sound like Israel. But I want to reassure you that this is real. And it was getting a little raunchy, man. I cut it off. But I'm back. We got to finish where we left off. I feel like I need to give y'all some scripture or something, man. It's getting crazy. Shannon, I didn't know it was like this. I can't lie. I did not know. You'd be surprised what people into, man. You know, we need to normalize getting wives. And this won't ever be a problem. This won't be a thing. You know, but I'm going to go ahead and stream this out for y'all, man. Hopefully we can get this over with quickly.
There are droves more text messages released where Gabby brought up the fact that she wanted a baby. Some people interpret this as nothing more than kinky talk. Some think it is a weird fetish or entrapment trying to be set for life off of Shannon's money. And others see this as a young girl who actually desperately wants to have a child with a man who simply wants sex. This is where Gabby claims in her lawsuit that a shift happened in their relationship. He lied about other women but still insisted they were exclusive. She claims he manipulated her, flipping between charm and aggression to get what he wanted. Around summer of 2024, Gabby claims there was a violent, aggressive, and controlling nature Shannon had that she could not escape. She describes multiple instances where he had his way with her without her explicit consent, then controlling her life, demanding where she needed to be and when. He accused her of disrespecting him, wasting his time, and warned that if she wanted to be with the Shannon Sharp, she would have to learn obedience. Over the
he sounds like he playing God over there.
next year and a half, plaintiff saw Sharp at his house as often as 4 times a week. Sharp continued to treat her like an object. He continued to control her, not just physically, but emotionally and psychologically. Gabby started sending her friends her location for her safety, and when Shannon noticed, he allegedly grabbed her by the neck and told her, "If you ever do that again, I will effing kill you." However, text messages revealed from Shannon's team that correspond to this timeline have Gabby allegedly saying, "I want to be abused, daddy," and also sent another BDSM photo and said, "I want you to tie me up like this and abuse me, daddy."
That's what happened when you play S&M. You need code words or something like, it's a such thing as too freaky, too kinky. You understand? I'm not going to get into my life, but I ain't into all that. I ain't going to lie.
Shannon moved to Las Vegas. Gabby also decided to move to Las Vegas, which some people thought was strange if she claimed that she was afraid of him, but then moved to the exact same city. She says this is when the abuse got much worse, specifically around the time that Shannon accidentally went live on Instagram during a sexual encounter with a different woman. In September of 2024,
the infamous Michelle.
Shannon Sharp accidentally broadcasted an intimate moment with a woman. Thousands of viewers tuned in to an unexpected Instagram live that featured audio of Shannon having intercourse with an unidentified woman. The screen indicates that the phone was just kind of resting on a table.
She was identified as Michelle. We don't know who Michelle is, but her name is Michelle. We all found her name out.
Or on the bed, but the audio of Shannon breathing heavily and dirty talking was enough to tell what was going on. Also, what made this a little confusing was he mentioned the woman's name in this IG live. He said Michelle, but it was not the same Michelle that filed the restraining order in 2010. The moment was extremely viral, with most people just making fun of Uncle Shannon, and at first, Sharp tried to claim his account had been hacked. However, he called ESPN to tell them the truth. "My phone wasn't hacked, it wasn't a prank, it was me being a healthy, active male." He later came clean on the Nightcap podcast, admitting the whole thing was an honest mistake.
"I'm extremely embarrassed that a very, very private, intimate situation, the audio can be heard. and I'm extremely disappointed in myself. 5 minutes before I came on, phone rings. It's Cat Williams. So I said, yeah, bro, what's up? The first thing out of his mouth, guess what he said, Ocho?
Oh, wow.
You ain't gay today?
However, based on text messages that Shannon revealed, Gabby was extremely upset with the situation. When I'm 152 pounds but you can't touch me because you cheated on me on Instagram Live. I'm gonna be 180 soon and you're still not gonna be able to touch me. I bet you regret your actions right about now. These text messages make it seem like Gabby thought they were exclusively in a relationship. Shannon did not give a formal reply in texts. Gabby then said, "When you give me a formal apology for cheating on me on Instagram Live and multiple other times, then we can talk." She writes, "Formal apology," in all caps. Shannon replies, "I've said sorry, Gabby." However, this is where things start to look really bad for Shannon. In her lawsuit on October 6, 2024, she says he confronted her at a gym in Nevada, visibly angry, and threatened her, "Sit the F down or I'm going to you," he reportedly said. When she tried to walk away, he told her she didn't have a choice. She told him clearly that she didn't want to speak, didn't want to be alone with him, and didn't want him coming to her home. Despite that, she says he forced her into his car and brought her back to her apartment. Once inside, he allegedly ignored her attempts to keep the conversation in the living room. He insisted on going to the bedroom. She said no, but he wouldn't listen. That's where she says he SA'd her, ignoring her tears and pleas. At one point, he reportedly said, "You've disrespected me so much, I'm going to punish this a-hole. I'm going to make it so no man will want you again." She says he R-worded her while she sobbed, and during the assault, he told her the experience gave him chills. Now, the next text messages Shannon released weren't until December 26th, almost 3 months after this alleged assault. We don't know how much or if any communication was had in between then. Gabby says, "I'm not answering your calls until you say sorry, Shannon." She says, "All you say is I'm sorry, but you never say what you are sorry for. How you gonna make it right?" She continues, "So I would appreciate if you could do that, cause you really hurt me." She continuously makes it clear that she wants an apology, to which Shannon replies,
She trying to get that on tape. Call me and tell me what you sorry for. Text me and tell me what you sorry for. Cause I'm about to record this. And Shannon seemed hip. He like, "Look, I'm sorry. But you ain't never gonna hear me say why."
"Gabby, I'm not going through this again. Stop playing childish games." Now, we don't know if Gabby was demanding an apology for this assault that she said happened or something else, because this was 3 months later. But then things get even more strange when New Year's of 2025 comes around. Shannon texted her and said, "Happy New Year, Gabby. Can't wait to see what 2025 has in store for us." Gabby replies, "Give me $50,000 and I will let you come over to the house," and then sends him her PayPal link. He said, "I don't have Cash Apps." She said, "Then what do you have?" And he says, "I have 10K cash." Gabby replies, "Send me a picture or FaceTime me with it." It seems like Shannon did not oblige to her orders, so she texted again. "What's taking so long? You either have the cash to show me right now or you're with Michelle. Which one is it, Shannon?" She sends another message with a picture of her naked. "I know you miss this big juicy 25K for each cheek." We do not know if Shannon paid the money, but they did see each other.
Okay. If you just got R'd, then what is there to talk about? You trying to get paid, you trying to slip them up, and it's just a lot going on. Now it's 25 a cheek. Now it's 25 a cheek. I prefer beef cheeks from a cow. Made with a little stew, little curry stew from like Jamaican style, little spice on it. See, are you hurt or aren't you? Are you traumatized or aren't you? Were you assaulted or weren't you? See, these are all games that's going to allow you to lose the case. From my understanding, he was giving you $10 million That's a lot of money for a 19-year-old, man. You should have took that and ran with it. This comes out being greedy. And I don't know what happened, you know. Clearly I wasn't there. But what I do know is that you playing games. And if you want to be taken serious in the court of law, you can't play these kind of games. You playing games with your body. You playing games with Shannon. You playing games with this straight cash. You playing games with the law. And above all else, you playing games with the Lord. We gotta normalize all of this extra freaking, this extra freaky. It gotta stop, man. At a certain point, it becomes it's like that same little Cassidy stuff. It's starting to become like, all right, this is a little too much. This is a little over the top. Like some of this stuff is over the top. I'm gonna call it over freaking, past freaking. That's a demon, man. Y'all both got the demons in y'all, man. This is beyond just sexual desires. It's turning into something else. Now you selling your body. Now you prostituting. I guess you OnlyFans. It's a form of prostituting. It's internet prostituting. You're selling pieces of your bodies and pictures for a service. For a charge. You're charging. It's like what Cameron said. Cameron said how one thing leads to another. These ain't my words. Shouts out to Killer Cam, man. He said, this is how you can become untrustworthy. It all starts from a little thing. It's like, I don't like liars. Because if you lie, you will cheat. And if you cheat, you will steal. And if you steal, you'll rob. And if you rob, you'll kill. And if you kill, go back and check out Cam's and see what he say next after that. My show ain't for that. If you kill, it gets sexual after that. And it's like, and they said, why you say that? He was like, because you untrustworthy. It's no telling what you'll do. If you'll kill, you'll do anything. So now your sexual manhood and things of that nature are on the line. Everything else is on the line because you've shown to be untrustworthy in all categories. Is what I'm saying. I can't trust you. And if I'm a juror, I'm taking all this into account on what I'm trusting and believing.
They're within 24 hours of this message. In her lawsuit, on January 2nd, 2025, Shannon told her he wanted to see her and remind her about a promised Christmas and birthday gift. Eventually, she agreed to let him visit her apartment, but once he arrived, things quickly turned. He began undressing and she asked him to wear a condom, hoping it might stop what was happening. According to her, Shannon refused. The more she begged him to stop or use protection, the more aggressive he became. She says he forced himself on her again, ignoring her pleas the entire time. The last text messages that were released are from that January 2nd, 2025 night.
That's tough. But judging off the text messages later, I gotta keep that back there. In the back, it's back there. I hear that. That's tough. If that's true, you know, I pray for you. I'm praying for you. That's going to be hard to live with and deal with. I don't wish that on nobody. But your response to it is peculiar. Whatever. Your response to it is interesting.
Which was the night of the alleged assault. Gabby said, "I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not to put it in my A, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. I don't know how to process this. In response to the lawsuit, Shannon Sharpe publicly denied all allegations through a statement released by his attorney. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, the statement read. His lawyer, Lanny J. Davis, went further, calling the lawsuit full of lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and claimed it would not hold up in court. Shannon's lawyer wrote, "These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic communications initiated by the plaintiff." Davis said, "The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by the plaintiff." Shannon also made another public announcement denying all accusations, but instead of typing it himself, it seems like he screenshotted a text message that was sent to him, indicating that it was someone else who wrote the response. It seemed like no matter how Shannon responded, it didn't exactly make him look better. And although the text messages that he released do provide a little more context, they don't exactly make him look better either. It does seem that they had a consensual relationship.
I heard it's a tape. Came right out of Shannon's mouth. He said it's a tape. And the play is to make him, they're going to take a 5-minute clip of this tape, put it out to make him look bad. And then he went about releasing all these messages himself. If it's worse than this, Shannon, what was you doing on them tapes? What was you doing, man? Why was you doing it? Why are you doing this? You don't gotta do this.
Before the initial October 6, 2024 assault, but the lawsuit mostly focuses on the fact that their dynamic changed after the IG Live leak in September of 2024, which Gabby deemed as Shannon cheating on her. Honestly, Shannon's text messages that he released kinda help her narrative, because what we have, according to the text messages that he released, are seemingly a consensual back and forth for about a year and a half, up until the IG Live leak, which is where everything changed. That's also pretty much what Gabby said in the lawsuit. And that October 6, 2024 date where she says there was a violent assault is really where everything changed. And again, the texts also kind of prove that. After all, just because a relationship was previously consensual doesn't mean it always is. Now, we don't know if Shannon
That's true. The first time to say no, man.
cherry-picked text messages that make her look worse than him, or if they would actually go months without texting, because we went through almost all of the messages over the course of 2 years, which realistically were not that many texts, but we can only base our opinions on what was revealed. But knowing the dates of those text messages does kinda help, because if she claimed she feared for her life, then sent an erotic message after, that doesn't really make sense. For example, audio was released of her and Shannon's phone conversation, and without context or dates, it sounds horrible.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
You want to be a to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Well, I don't...
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
You're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do what you did to me.
Dates are important here, because if this was before summer of 2024, then some people believe this is just more dirty talk and role-playing now being taken out of context, especially the way he says big black guy chokes small white woman. It just seems like an ironic or non-intimidating way to describe that situation. Then again, some look at this as her clearly expressing multiple times that she does not want this, which should have been a signal for him to stop. But where Where everything does get weird is her demanding money around New Year's of 2025. By this point, she claims to have been assaulted seemingly countless times and is demanding to be paid for intercourse. This is what makes people think that this is a shakedown, and of course has been a basis of Shannon's legal defense. Then again, Shannon's defense made a horrible decision in revealing that they almost settled out of court before anyone knew about this situation. Sharp's lawyer revealed,
See? I know a little bit. I ain't know all of this.
that he had offered Gabby at least $10 million to settle things privately before the case became public. According to his attorney, Gabriella initially seemed open to the deal, but then, without warning, walked away from our offer. Davis said it was a big surprise to us when suddenly this case was filed without any advanced warning. Many people questioned why Shannon would even offer a settlement that large if he was innocent. Now, legally, settling a lawsuit does not mean a person is admitting guilt. In fact, most settlements include language that explicitly states the parties are not admitting to any wrongdoing. For many, settling is a way to avoid the stress, time, and massive costs of going to trial. In high-profile cases like this one, it can also be a strategy to avoid media attention and protect reputations. For celebrities, sometimes settling just feels like the faster, cleaner option if they believe they did nothing wrong. But in the court of public opinion, people strongly felt that Shannon essentially admitted guilt when he offered her $10 million. Then again, others questioned why Gabby did not take the $10 million. This is the girl that demanded $25,000 per cheek. Surely $10 million would have been plenty of money, right? And that's when conspiracies arose that potentially this is a much bigger attack on Shannon. Shannon was on the verge of signing a new podcast contract worth over $100 million. That kind of money would have made him one of the highest paid personalities in sports media. It felt like the next big step in his career. Additionally, Gabby's legal representation is led by Tony Busby, who filed a lawsuit on behalf of a woman accusing Diddy of assault, trafficking, and abuse. Additionally, in late 2024, Tony Busby filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of a woman identified as Jane Doe, accusing Jay-Z and Diddy of R-wording her at a 2000 MTV Video Music Awards after party when she was 13 years old. Jay-Z vehemently denied the allegations, labeling them a blackmail attempt. In February of 2025, the lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled. Subsequently, Jay-Z filed a defamation lawsuit against Jane Doe and Busby, alleging that the accusations were knowingly false and malicious, aimed at extorting him and causing significant harm to his reputation and business interests.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media.
Shannon, we don't want to see that. Shannon, please. Shannon, please. We so glad you ain't had a tape, because you would have released it, because you released these text messages. We didn't need to see that. You should have waited till that got in court. That should come out only if it have to. Shannon, we can't unsee that. I ain't gonna lie. Your show been popping. I've been keeping up, like looking into the numbers on the show. The ratings is still going. Shannon going strong, man. But please, Shannon, I'm begging you. Don't you put that tape out. I never talk to you again.
The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Many fans believe that a man who was not guilty would demand for an entire tape of his to be released, especially if it made him look bad. Busby told TMZ Sports that he and his client have zero plans right now to put the footage out to the media. The only reason you know about the existence of a video recording is that Mr. Sharp specifically referenced it in his bullshit statement. Shannon has remained adamant that his relationship with Gabriella was purely a BDSM one, where the two would meet up for rough about once a week and nothing more. Shortly after the case went public, Sharp announced his decision to temporarily leave ESPN. However, he still remains active working on his personal podcast that he owns. Now people are going back and analyzing Shannon's behavior on his shows, claiming that him being so open about his sexual proclivities, fetishes, and love for younger women on talk shows is an indication of guilt behind the scenes.
I broke with my girlfriend. This was years ago. This was probably about 25 years
Every
ago.
time you tell a story, it's years ago. I'm thinking this might be recent. This
No,
recent.
that ain't recent. This ain't recent. No, that's 25 years
okay.
ago. And my sister told my grandma, she said, Granny, you know Shannon and such not going together. They're not together no more. But you know what it is? You know what my grandma said?
What'd she say?
She wasn't doing her nightly duties.
Ooh. Wait a minute.
That was my granny say. That what my granny say.
Wait, let me sit up because I want. Wait, let me get my note. Let me get my notepad out. What are nightly duties so I can make sure
You know what nightly duties are. Everybody that watching this know what nightly duties are.
This one particular
Let me get mine out too. What the?
clip of Shannon losing control while discussing an OF model seemingly out of nowhere has been resurfaced.
You know who Sky Bree is, Ocho?
Sky Bree? Who that is, Coach?
Yeah. How I do it. How I do
Hey, Sky,
it.
I mean, who is that? Who is that? Help me out.
You know what I'm saying? She little something. She might be famous for vertical activity that she good at.
Shannon also once shut down his co-host's recommendation for a woman that's religious, has strong values, and could bring balance to his life.
Honestly, I done saw Shannon do that many times. Like, Shannon, this is the prize right here. This is the gold. That's God's gift to earth right there. You gotta leave those pink toes alone, man. Now look, to each his own. I'm not saying it, but as just saying, I ain't saw you with you. We done seen you out a few times, man. You got a history. We see your history, brother. Switch it up, man. Bring it home. Get you some wholesome. Because he like, yo, I don't want that religious stuff. Yo, dude. And we know Shannon believe in God for sure. Like, Shannon can preach the Bible. Shannon put Bible in his 1-2 all the time. He'd tell you he just went and told somebody on the sports reference the whole story of Job. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the T. Shannon grew up in the South. He got one of them grandmas for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, country, the country of the country. Bathroom outside. Ain't no bathroom. I go hit the tree out back. That's where Shannon from. Go shoot that squirrel and let's stew it right now. That type of country. That's where he from. Bike. He don't say back. He say bike. We coming bike. Listen. What's wrong with that? You can drop that in my lap right now. Praise God.
But instead, he said, I'm looking for a sinner.
I'm looking for a sinner. I'm looking for a sinner. Sent me Miss Nasty B. What her name was? The one that you
Miss
said
Nasty
with the
B?
umbrella?
Miss Nasty.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I don't want nobody walking straight and narrow.
Her name is wild though.
Oh, come on.
Nah,
So,
I want to sinner.
listen.
No matter whose side you are on, I think we can all agree that at the end of the day, Shannon had no business as a 57-year-old messing around with a 19 or 20-year-old. It is his actions that got him in this situation.
Alright, I'm done. Yo, thank y'all for rocking with me. That's all I got to say. I think I said all that needs to be said. My advice to everybody is look for a nice, wholesome woman who you can settle down with, kick it, chill, laugh with, wake up in each other's face. You know, get cooked for, give each other massages, you know, just hang out, watch movies, chill. Somebody you can trust, somebody you can confide in, somebody that got your back at all times. And, you know, that's God's glory right there. Proverbs 31, virtuous woman. That's what we want, man. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. And I'm out.